So now I want to talk a little bit about why I was so convinced with Norwex to begin with, but I want to explain that there's three ways to clean, if you didn't already know this. You can clean thermally, which is with heat. You can clean chemically, which is the American way, and with lots of chemicals, and basically what we're doing is we're just killing all the germs. Or we can mechanically clean, and that's what we're doing with Norwex. And this is the EnviroCloth. It's damp. I have this damp and it's ready to clean. So I just want to show this great demo just for you to have a nice visual. And this is really what convinced me to begin with when I was introduced to Norwex. So I hope you enjoy this. So I have here piece of raw chicken, nice and juicy. I'm going to smear this all over the counter right here in this corner. Now, I was holding that with my right hand, so take note of that. I'm going to just wipe my hands with the cloth. I love having this in the kitchen because I can just grab this when I'm dealing with raw meats and I can just clean my hands quickly. I'm not having to run to the sink and wash, a million times when I'm in the kitchen. I can just wipe off my hands, and I know that my hand is now clean. So I'm going to use the tag side to clean up this mess, just so you know what side of the cloth I'm using, because I'm going to clean the other side of the counter in a minute. But that is now clean. I have totally mechanically cleaned everything. All that protein raw chicken juice is now off of the counter right there. So I'm going to take the tag side again, and I'm going to come right down here and wipe. Now you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, she is just contaminating the other side of the counter with what she just picked up right there. But I'm going to prove otherwise, because basically, again, this cloth right here has so much fiber in it that if we unwound all the fiber, it would stretch all the way from the Gulf of Mexico up to Canada. 10 million feet of fiber is in this one cloth. So that's why it's picking up so well. It's locking it into place. And now I'm going to show you. This is a Hygiena ProClean swab. I get these at a medical supply company. We're testing for protein. The reason we're testing for protein, obviously you know that chicken is protein, and so it's going to detect protein if we swab this and there's protein on the counter, it's going to detect that. But there's another reason I'm testing with a protein swab, is that protein is actually smaller than bacteria. You can look it up and it's significantly smaller. It's probably about 4 times smaller than bacteria. But we want to get rid of the protein on the counter, because anything living, including protein, bacteria grows on. And so that's what the culprit is. And so we want a clean surface. So I'm going to take this swab, and you remember that I was holding that raw chicken right with my hand. So I'm going to swab my fingers really good. And I'm going to swab this whole counter. Did I mention the colors on this swab? So we want green, because green has a check mark. Green means clean. If it turns gray, it's detecting something. It's most likely not protein, but it's something on the surface. And if it turns one of the purple colors, it's detecting protein. And the more protein, the darker the purple color. So we have a nice green swab. Let's just hold this here for a minute, because we just want to make sure it's not detecting any protein. So I buy these at a medical supply company. They test for cleanliness at restaurants with these, and so that's why I'm testing here, just to show this experiment and how we're mechanically cleaning. So now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to smear the chicken juice right here. I'm going to not wash my hands this time. I'm going to swab my fingers with the swab. Oh, whoops. And then we're going to swab the surface. And now I'm going to wash my hands so that they're clean. And it's definitely turning purple. And if we wait about a minute, it will be just a really nice dark purple. But anyway, that detected the protein, so we know that it wasn't clean, obviously, because I didn't clean it off. Now, interestingly, when I do this experiment, a lot of times, and I just didn't want to do it because I didn't want you to think it was going to change the outcome, like it was a chemical reaction, but a lot of times after I have even wiped up the mess, I've even swabbed, after I swab my fingers, then I swab the actual cloth, and it just always comes out green as well, because again, it's just locking it into place, and everything bad is inside the cloth.